Okay, I'm here with Jillian Bullock, and we're going to speak about her journey as a female director, and we're also going to speak about her upcoming movie, A Sense of Purpose. So welcome, Miss Jillian Bullock.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking the time out to be with us today. Yes, thank you. Let's start with how you became a director.
Well, when I was in college, I went to LaSalle University in Philadelphia, and upon graduation, I got an internship on Spike Lee's movie, Malcolm X. So that was my first step into that world, even though I was going to school for communications, but a part of the communication courses dealt with screenwriting and film. So you had to take those courses as well in order to graduate. So after that, like I said, I did the internship, and then I just started working on other people's projects, trying to learn, the ins and outs of the business. Then about 4 or 5 years later after that, I started my own production company just to get my feet wet on my projects that I wrote. And the first few were just, something for me to, make trial and errors with and learn all about budgeting and casting and location scouting and all that. So that's how I got started.
Beautiful, beautiful. Would you say your time on the set of Malcolm X, has that infused you either with certain visions or with certain talents? If you could give a little, because I'm sure, that was a movie, I'm sure people would like a little behind the scenes or what you took from the experience.
It was an interesting experience because one thing that we interns didn't get paid. So what I did on any of my productions, if I had interns, they got paid. Because you still have families, you still have things you have to live. You can't be. And I was traveling from Philadelphia to New York, so that was an even bigger expense. So
Sure.
that I did learn that you should pay people, even if it's not a lot, even if it's just a transportation and a meal, they should get something because they're taking a lot of time and energy out of their lives to do this. So I learned that. I learned just things I would do differently from Spike or any other director, especially again because I am a female, so I might handle certain things a different way than maybe a male director would. I might have more sensibilities as far as dealing with your cast and crew, diversity issues, anything like that. And I think I'm pretty good at that with my staff, my crew. I try to be fair to people. I try to. I mean, I'm strict, but I'm fair because we're on a budget. We got a budget. We got to get through. We got time. We got to get through. We got to come in on time. So I'm not a pushover, that's for sure.
Good.
We gotta get certain things done, and I'm going to make sure that we get it done. So I learned a lot about that on his set as well. Trying to come in on time. He didn't have enough money. He had to go back out and get more money for the project, which caused a lot of stress for him, unfortunately. But he got it made, and it's a great film. So.
Yeah. No, that's excellent. You came away with a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, I did. Yep.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I want to get into A Sense of Purpose.
Okay.
It's a true story.
It's inspired by true events. Yes, it's inspired by true events.
How did you come across something like that? Because I'm sure like a lot of people are like, oh, I know this person, or, I read this book.
Yeah.
You could tell, of how we got there, to where
right.
we are now with it. Yes.
Well, I was in the Army myself, so I wanted to do a movie about vets. And I'm also I used to train I used to be a mixed martial arts fighter. I still train in mixed martial arts. I just don't fight now. But at the time, I was like, it'd be interesting to gel the two worlds because I had read this report about how a lot of veterans use MMA to help them cope with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. I said, well, that would be an interesting story, So I started interviewing veterans about their experience in PTSD and how what they did to assimilate back into society when they came home. And then I found out that a lot of the veterans had PTSD because they had been sexually assaulted while they were in the military. Wow. I'm like, oh, that's a more interesting story. So I switched gears. I had to redo the script all over because I was shocked to hear that men were more sexually assaulted than women. I was just shocked to hear. Yeah. So I rewrote the whole script and took another year to do more research, interview more people, men and women. And then, I said, I think this would be a story that people need to hear because they don't know how rampant sexual assault is in the military.
Wow. Firstly, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And also, wow, what an insightful, barely talked about issue to bring to light. That's pretty amazing. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. How, and I think you brought up a few important points there too. Writers might become so married to some idea.
Right.
That they get that, it takes a lot.
It's hard to change it. It's hard to change it.
Yeah. So
that didn't happen for me. That didn't happen for me because I thought it was a much stronger story, and I wanted people to know what so many veterans go through. They go out to serve their country, and they come back totally affected because they have been raped or sexually assaulted. So,
wow,
it's thousands and thousands. So each year, it's hard. That's rough.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to do something I had to make it educational and entertaining at the same time because it's not a documentary. So you still have to keep the entertainment aspect in there somehow. So, and I try to do a good balance of both, and I think I did,
Well, yeah, it's on Amazon, right? It's coming on Amazon.
It's going to be on Amazon early next month. It's going to be on Amazon. So Amazon, and people can go and rent or buy it and see. It's a very interesting story. And the two lead characters in the movie, Tamara Woods, she played the lead actress. She was the one who was sexually assaulted by her commanding officer, Captain Jake Nixon, played by John Quinlan. And it was very difficult, thing to do because John's such a nice guy, and he had to act like so mean in the movie. the commanding officer who he's brutal in the movie. He's really brutal, but it's a role. It's not him. But he had to come with that in order to make it believable that he's just been in the military 20 years, doing this all those 20 years. So that's pretty rough. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the actress that's in the movie, the lead actress, was that in the Army and actually went through this experience as well?
No, she was in the Air Force. She never went through it.
Okay, thank God.
She had to act like she did. So acting,
wow.
Yeah. She was in the Air Force. So.
And how did you come across her? Was she somebody that was interested in acting, or was she somebody you knew and reached out to?
She actually reached out to me. She's an actress, so she reached out to me. She knew we would have casting calls and everything. So she and I met for lunch, and I talked to her more about the script because I wanted her to truly understand what is going to be involved in this character's role coming from her background in Air Force. She said she had an amazing experience, so she never experienced anything like that. But she still is an actress, so she did her job well,
Right. Yeah. The trailer looks great. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. No, I'm excited for people to see your movie. I'm sure it'll do very well. I want to ask too, because of course, other women will be watching this and will be saying, wow, here's this woman, she came out of the Army and did this whole, restructuring of herself as an artist, and she got it on Amazon Prime. How did you get to Amazon Prime? What was that deal making like? How did you settle with them?
So like I said, we're still working on getting it on there, but it's quite simple. But we didn't have some things that we needed. Like we didn't have closed captioning. So we had to go, we just finished closed captioning. You must have closed
congratulations.
Captioning. So we had to go and do that. It was a lot of work to get that involved. We had to get a company that could do it. I had to go through the movie and look at it and make sure the script said exactly what the actors were saying, and it had to be in the script exactly. So that was time consuming. That took a couple of weeks. Then we had to get the lyrics to the music. The lyrics have to be written out. So I had to go to the singers and the bands that were in the movie. I said, I need your lyrics. You gotta get your lyrics together. I didn't know this stuff. So you learning they're learning steps that you learn. I know definitely for the next one, everything that has to be done. But so now we just finished the closed captioning. I just looked at it yesterday. It looks great. So now we go to the next step to put it on Amazon. And they have certain criteria that they ask you for, certain artwork, closed captioning and all this other stuff. And then you just upload it. And that's all you do. And from there, you have to start that marketing machine and promotion to let all your friends, family, the world knows that it's out. And we hope they support it. You know, they can rent or buy it, like I said. And, it's a good film. You know, we put a lot of work in it. We worked on it for, like, seriously, we worked on it probably over a year, because what happened was Tamara, she, about 3 months into the movie shooting, she told me she was pregnant.
Wow.
That was a curveball for me. I was like, what? And she was afraid I was going to recast her. But the reason why it took so long to make the movie, because we went through her pregnancy in the movie.
Okay. Wow. So you see.
I had to rewrite some stuff again.
Wow.
Yeah.
See. Oh, that's amazing.
So, and when you see her in the movie and she's got that big belly, she was really pregnant. So that was interesting. To see her growing through the whole process. That was fun.
Wow. You also have a few other movies under your belt. So I was just wondering, have you noticed that you yourself have developed a certain style? You know, like we all expect, like, surrealism from David Lynch,
Yeah.
all the symbolism that Quentin Tarantino will put in, So have you noticed that you yourself have developed your own, characteristic, only Jillian style?
Well, in every movie that I do, it probably would be mixed martial arts or boxing in it, because that's what I do. So, in every movie that we're like, okay, we know in Jillian's movies, we know there's going to be some MMA in there, there's going to be some boxing in there, every film. So that's my style there. That's going to be my signature piece, because it's what I love. And it's easy for me to write. I'm also a fight choreographer. So.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. So it's easy for me to write those scenes, because that's what I do. So, they always say, write what you know. So this is what I know. So this goes into,
I love it. We need more female directors who do action pieces. Like, I love Catherine Bigelow. I think really wonderfully, yeah.
I'm working on getting to that big of action, because that's a lot of action she does. But for right now, I just stick with fight scenes and stuff like that. And to me, it's fun to choreograph it. It's fun to have the actors learn the choreography is like a dance. They have to learn this one step, so nobody gets hurt. Because at this point right now, we don't have the budget's not as big that we can have stunt people to come in. So the actors have to do it themselves. So I had to make sure, especially on A Sense of Purpose, like I said, there's a scene in there where John Quinlan, who plays Captain Nixon, has to slap Tamara, who plays Diane Torres, Sergeant Diane. So he has to slap her. She was like pregnant at that time. So we had to make sure that when she fell to the ground that she didn't get hurt. So we had to do it in a certain way. John had to, kind of block it in a certain way so you can't see every way how he's trying to hit her but not hit her. So that was a little tricky, but he pulled it off, and she was great at it. We didn't want her to be falling too many times because she was pregnant. So you got to work around stuff. You got to be, creative.
And that's the name of the game.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. And another tricky scene in the movie was the actual rape scene. Tamara, by the time we did the rape scene, Tamara was 8 months pregnant.
Oh, Lord.
So we weren't going to have John's character, assaulting her because she's 8 months pregnant. So I had to be her body double. Okay. So that was good. And that's some of the behind the scenes stuff. And then, you do that all the time because she's 8 months pregnant. We couldn't have her going through that trauma. So I had to stay in. I had to step in there.
Yeah. No, I think that's an important key of information. On independent films, that's not, a studio throwing them $100 million budget.
Yeah, right.
you know, how many hats does the director have to wear? You know?
Quite a lot. And, you know, so it does still come off. It's very traumatic. It'll be traumatic, you know, watching it and everything, but it's realistic. This is stuff that happens, like I said, 2000s of men and women in the military. And, you know, we wanted to make it look realistic. And, you know, it was a difficult part, obviously, for John to play and Tamara, because, again, you just have to be so emotionally involved into the character that people hated John's character. They hated him. I had to keep telling people he's nice guy. So, and it was very emotional for Tamara. She had to cry a lot at some points and everything. So that's very draining. And we wanted to make sure she was okay. Like, yeah, she's pregnant. We want to make sure she's not overwhelmed. So we took a lot of breaks with her when, you know, she was on set. Make sure she had water and wanted something to eat, you know. So we took more stops with her, especially as she progressed with the pregnancy.
Right. Wow. Yeah, I think that shows a wonderful example of what a true leader is. You know, it's not
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Guns blazing, you know, to use a,
Yep.
a military kind of analogy, but, you know, it's also care is, you know, and support is just much as an empowering tool.
Right.
Just fighting.
That's what I did learn. Like that's I really focus on that, having a connection with the actors, especially the lead actors, because, you know, you want them to, if they're playing difficult roles, you want them to be okay. So when you say cut, you have to make sure they're okay. I think it's very important to make sure your actors are all right, because they're the ones that have to bring your vision to life. Yeah. So you want to be on set hollering at them or making them feel uneasy. And a lot of directors do. I've seen it. They holler at their actors. They're so mean. I'm like, I'm never going to be like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of wisdom there that you just dropped that I hope people, you know, grasp onto. I ask everyone if you've had any backlash or obstacles in being a female filmmaker along your path. If you feel comfortable sharing, if you've had any at all.
No, actually, I haven't, because I've always been one to say I'm going to do my own projects. Other than being an intern and working on Malcolm X and working in the beginning on other people's projects, once I got my own production company, I said I'm going to do my stuff. And I don't write. People can't submit scripts to my company. We don't accept scripts or anything. Everything that we produce, I direct. You know, I write, I direct it. So nice. I'm trying to follow along with you know, people like M. Night Shyamalan and Tyler Perry and stuff like that. They write their stuff, they directed their stuff. So for the most part, especially Tyler Perry, he writes all his TV shows, he writes all his movies, and he produces, directs, and that's made him quite wealthy that way. So
yeah. Yeah, that saying too, you know, too many cooks ruin the pot, you know.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, you know, my producers read the script and all everything, so if they don't think something fits right, you know, I'm not one to say no, it's my way or the highway. It's not like that. Okay. It has to be a collaboration between you and your team who you trust. So if they're saying, you know, something they don't think works, like really doesn't work, then I'll rewrite it and fix it, and we'll go from there.
Nice.
You know, even if it's on set, even if it's on set, sometimes, you know, actors sometimes can come with a line that is even better than what I wrote, and I'll be like, well, that's great, we're going to use that, and I'll just change it, you know. Hey, if it's good, it's good, right? Yeah,
to have that, you know, flexibility. You know, it reminds me of Bruce Lee, you know, be flexible like water.
Yep.
To get the, you know, best result. No, that's awesome. What's next for you? So this movie's out there. You'll be marketing and promoting.
Right.
What's the next step for Jillian?
We're going into pre-production right now on a movie called A Cup Full of Crazy. It's a thriller, psychological thriller. I deal with mental health in this movie. I mean, A Sense of Purpose does that too with the PTSD and all that. But this is like seriously mental health. And again, it's another tough topic. I write about about tough topics because this is our life. This is reality. And how people work around things to try to be the best that they can be. So this is focuses on a young lady who does mixed martial arts. And she's just going through a really difficult time. She had a nervous breakdown and she's just trying to come back from it. And a lot of things start happening in her life where it kind of throws her off balance again. And she thinks she's having a mental breakdown again. So she struggles throughout the movie, but I won't tell you the ending. But
yeah. That's right.
Again, a very emotional. The lead actress will have to dig deep on this one to bring it out, and but we're also gonna have a lot of fun with it. We're gonna have MMA in it. We're gonna have boxing in it, so it's gonna be fun. We're gonna get a lot of professional martial arts in there, professional boxers in there. You know, the two lead actors, the male and the female, have to train. You know, I said, you know, you got to come in there looking like Michael B. Jordan did in Creed. You're going to have to be training hard. So I'm hoping while this quarantine on, they still training. I'm hoping.
Maybe that's all they can do.
Right. I hope. But yeah, so, you know, so we'll see how it goes, but that's what we're working on now. And again, I wrote the script, obviously, and I'm going to direct it. And, you know, we should have a lot of fun with this one, even though it does, like I said, touch on some mental health issues. But I think, again, it's important because a lot of people out there are suffering. They have, you know, anxiety, depression, bipolar, you know, they have a lot of issues, mental health issues they don't want to talk about. So if you bring it out to the light to more people, they will say maybe they'll go get help or something, or, you know, whatever they need to do to make sure that they're safe. And that's what it all comes out to. It's going to be entertaining, but you have to have that educational component to it as well. Because if you're going to do art, I think it's okay to do the superhero movies and stuff like that, have a lot of fun, but sometimes you have to do stories that really matter, that could change people's lives.
Right. Something meaningful and something that could destigmatize any issues people are going through. Because a lot of the time, you know, people think, oh, it's only me suffering in this way. You know, there's something wrong with me. This is a source of shame, you know. So, yeah, to actually see it, you know, being portrayed brings that human element to a story and lets people connect to it.
Yep. So that's why I write these type of stories. They're hard, like I said, they're hard hitting, tough topics, but it's important to me because I think, like you said, I want to help people, in this case, live. Some people may be thinking, you know, there's nothing for me to live for or something like that. But then they see the movie and they be like, oh, okay, she can do what I can do or something like that, you know. And again, you know, you want them to be healthy and well. And at the same time, you want them to be entertained because they are going to a movie. So you got to blend the elements together and make it creative. So
right. Yeah. Wow. I think that's a great point to end up on, and I want to thank you for your time again.
Thank you for having me.
And yeah, no, it's been such a pleasure speaking with you and getting to know you, and I can't wait to see all your creations.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you for your service again.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.